When I first saw you, I saw raw, untamed power, and beyond that, something truly special. Okay, well, now I've got that out of the way. Hey, I'll definitely say this much. Actually, I just got back from an early showing of Star Wars Episode 7, Episode 8, The Last Jedi, and I, for one, loved it, to say the least. I mean, I've yet to see a single film from the saga I disliked. I mean, like, even then, I still submit by the fact that the prequels, I don't hate them, I don't even dislike them. That's and as per that whole agreement, they're still canon, and definitely I will say that much of the film acknowledges not just what came before it, acknowledges all of it. I mean, like it was just like on screen for like a fraction of a second, it's in there, and also don't worry about the scars. It's just like makeup. It's like eyeshadow. It washes right off like and I would definitely say this, you don't need to worry about spoilers because I will not be giving any. Go see the movie one know what happens to it, and even though a lot of people have been saying it draws something pushed right back, and it does, trust me when I say that director Ryan Johnson definitely knows how to surprise you even when you think you've seen it all from the series. Like he said, I'm not joking when I said, well, some things I expected, they kept me guessing with every passing minute, and I don't think the running time was spending like almost an hour waiting to get in the theater, during how cold it is right now, was a deterrent from the experience at all. Since and it definitely lived up to my expectations and more, given how, as someone who loved The Voice Awakens immensely when it came out, I capped off rewatching Saga with my 37th viewing of that movie. I am actually genuinely surprised to find that I actually like this movie even more. I mean, since I may recall wanting to capture the zeitgeist of Empire as well as definitely one of the darkest films of Saga. I mean, not quite as dark as Revenge of the Sith or Rogue One, but it's close. However, it's also surprisingly one of the most amusing. That's using like the humor, definitely provides some good levity, and then between all the action and dramatic moments, and there's a lot of them. That's and what I mean, like with Finn coming to, I mean, basically the movie's version of waking up Luke waking up in the Bacta Tank and Empire. I mean, and I'm not gonna spoil specifics of what goes on with Luke again. Go see the movie if you want to know. Oh, and but I can definitely say that's hey, that's whether they want to not do I want to make more movies after this. I mean, I think Johnson's gonna be good to handle this movie since I mean, returning characters not only heavyweights such as as the late Carrie Fisher as General Leia Organa, Hannah or Hamill as Luke. That there are some smaller roles by not only acclaimed actors but also ones that have also I think it's basically the first major film role in that film role in many respects since this mean we have a young resistance mechanic slash pilot named Rose, played by Kelly Marie Tran, and that's and also definitely glad that they have kept up the idea of having new characters, giving him played by some relatively impressive actors. Like since I definitely want to see more of Adam Driver's in as Kylo Ren, since his arc definitely throws for a loop. Again, I'll not spoil anything what he does, but I'll just say this. I mean, like, he definitely takes after his grandfather in more ways than one, to say the least, man. He's since. And as you would expect with a Star Wars movie, the action and special effects are impressive, and I mean, of course, there are some homages to previous installments of Saga, which is what Disney's been doing a lot lately, but then again, and it doesn't bother me as much as some other people, given how the whole saga was influenced by Jedi Geki films and Flash Gordon serials. In fact, it's very well documented that the whole thing started when apparently they wanted to remake Flash Gordon, but they couldn't clear the red tape that owns the comic, so they made the whole saga instead. And it definitely kicked off a whole wave of science fiction blockbusters trying to become the next big thing. And it not only succeeds at being The Empire Strikes Back for the sequel trilogy, but also managed to bring a lot of its own flaws to the table, including a lot of things that really threw for a loop. Since, like, hey, the moment I saw Finn fighting Phasma with vibro weapons, I told myself I could get behind this. And the settings are definitely very impressive. Like, not only all these starships and also these new locations, such as it's like Crate, where they find battle takes place, but it's all these new beefier walkers, hunkers, like how they're a lot heavier than the AT-ATs, given how they actually have the forelegs had to be like kind of like an ape. They had to move forward, and in many ways, some things never change. Like the stormtroopers are still have a little bit of trouble with their aim, and that's and I don't mind at all they're trying given how many opportunities are for tie-ins in this film. Like they don't actually show any actual products in there, but however, I will say this that it definitely made me want the BB-9E for my companion BB-8 here. Oh, don't be so modest, because turns out BB-8 actually ends up being quite useful in the film. That he managed to combine R2's spunk with a little bit of his own ingenuity, and much like I'm also glad Bill Hader's still doing digital voice, given how I found how he's on Saturday Night Live and a lot of other movies he's done as well. That it definitely comes in handy when they're trying to escape this whole casino, like planet known as Canto Bight. I mean, first I'm going to describe that environment as basically a 2 parts Cloud City and Bespin, 1 part Las Vegas, and 1 part Monte Carlo. I mean, and also like gambling in Star Wars, perish the thoughts. I mean, next I suppose you're going to tell me they're going to be giving away loot crates to encourage more gameplay or purchases. Yep. Yep. Nothing weird about that. But all joking aside, however, there are some ones that stood out at me since we have a definitely stand-in for Lando Calrissian, played by Benicio del Toro. I'm trying to remember his name, like this. And definitely, he has a lot of ones that have similar cases of definitely going more towards who pays the best rather than any particular one of leads, but he does realize what happened and help Finn and Rose escape. And the dogfights are impressive ever since. There are many things we have not yet seen in Star Wars movies since. Like, we've seen actually, I mean, I definitely wasn't expecting to see any things such as what's going on, such as like having like a Star Cruiser at light speed and actually go through who a Star Destroyer so much that it cuts in half. And actually see walkers hurling through space in order to get to their ships. And Ryan Johnson definitely understands not only technical aspects of the film, but also how to make it work from a standpoint of the story and characters. Given how I did see many similarities towards Looper and a lot of the episodes of Breaking Bad he worked on. Such one of the last and best episodes of Ozymandias. Again, no spoilers, but if you've seen the movie and you have watched those films and episodes of Breaking Bad, you'll know why. Since I have to say, hey, the film is excellent, and every time I tell you to go see it, I will say that it really is that good. Since it not only manages to deliver a spectacular follow-up to what Disney's done so far the series, but also managed to provide a good send-off to Carrie Fisher, who sadly passed on last year at age 60. Fortunately, she completed her work on the film, and even though she may be gone, what she left behind will last forever. But she will forever be, in my eyes, a general royalty. She is most certainly that. And As for the YA stuff, I don't really see it. I mean, in fact, as I recall, a YA film actually had to get bumped to next year to avoid competition with this one. You know the one I'm talking about, because this movie is without question going to sweep the holiday box office and going to be big well into 2018. And everything else is going to be running for second in place since I could never say, even with all this stuff going on, now is not the time to worry. Now, more than ever, is a time to resist. So, my fire rating for this film is a 4 stars out of 4. I mean, I can't sure where to rank on my favorite films of the year, but I definitely say it's on the list. I'm definitely going to be talking about some coming tracks for 2018, and after this cut. So, I think what I'm going to be doing with release. I'm going to just go do these in release order for my trailer talk this time, just to make it easier. Since there are only 4 of them this time, but they all have rough chronological by the release date in theaters in the U.S. So, Tomb Raider next March. This reboot of the film series based on which in turn is based on the reboot of the video game franchise. This is Edition of a Candor, take on the Lara Croft. I mean, I've talked about this one before. I mean, most likely I got a maybe for that one. It looks more fun than the other games I've had, but most likely I'm just gonna wait for the DVD to come out or just rent it or wait for it to come on TV or whatever. For instance, I mean, this typically video game movies have often been a mixed bag at least. I mean, like, I'm reluctant to call any of them good, but that's if I mean since they've often had a similar history that comic films have gone through. That they were bad for a really long time before they started being good. Since I mean, I'm probably gonna look at the first 2 ones I did with Angelina Jolie in the early 2000s, but that's gonna be separate from my retro gaming marathon I plan on doing next year as well. That's no sense. I mean, but I have 3 other films I'm definitely planning on seeing in that's May 2018, in the Avengers Infinity War, which is going to be the first part of the finale of the MCU as we know it, since I've already addressed this in my first trailer reaction, but even with what's going on with the site lately, it hasn't dampened my excitement at all. In fact, I still feel quite the opposite, that I'm still excited as ever, since my plan to get ready is, if I give the miss, is to look at the 2 ones I have not yet, or some bonuses. I mean, the last 2 ones I have not yet, never Phase 1 of Marvel, The Incredible Hulk, and Captain America First Avenger. Both ones I really enjoyed. That would be easier to talk about them. And also, next up, June 15th, Incredibles 2, which is my favorite Pixar film, and I'm also not going to be talking about what's going on with the company right now, and also, still not canceling my marathon just yet, but I'm just putting it on hold for the time being, and that's also still want to see Coco, and doesn't bother me about the Olaf stories eventually either, but I mean, given how I still like how the original film home. I first saw it when I was 12, and it still resonates with me even now that I'm getting a lot older and ready to move on with my life, whatever it may take me. And last but definitely not least, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the sequel to the 2015 smash hit Jurassic World, which I still really enjoy. I feel that is much closer in style and tone to the first film and the sequels, and Chris Pratt says how he's going to be reprising roles as Owen and Claire, looks like, as well as having Jeff Goldblum come back as Dr. Ian Malcolm. That's much like Christopher Walken. He has this otherworldliness in whatever what role he plays. Is that no matter what movie you see in him, you're going to remember it. I mean, but since, and on that note, I'm still going to be. I was working on this script and can still do it. I'm still. Remember what I wrote is one of the things that actually went missing in when my hard drive stopped working. That at some point I'm probably going to upgrade my computer here in the near future, but As to exactly what model, I have not decided yet, and also the money is going to be trying to keep me from doing that, but we shall see. I mean, people may try and tell me how I can just do the same things I've been doing this whole last time. Well, I play simple. I don't want to keep doing the same things all the time because, like next year is gonna be marking like 10 years of being a member of YouTube, and also like say, hey, 7 years of uploading sites. The my join day is gonna be like the 10 years, the same day the Han Solo movie comes out, and I still like to go see it since it's gonna be kind of Memorial Day weekend and the 41st anniversary on the release of New Hope. And regardless what happens outside this channel with my family or what's going on in Washington or what's happening with Disney, I will say this: I look forward to whenever what else series has in mind, like with Episode 9, or spin-off films like the second sequel trilogy with Johnson at the helm. That I just want you to know that I'm still wonderful because it's simple. I mean, it spoke to me in many ways that is simply for everyone can be their own light in the darkness, and that everyone can be their own spark that lights a fire that burns everything that came before it down. In own sense. So hey, I'm gonna say that I recommend the film, and also for everyone to continue my marathon just to write their own story. Right, and remember, may the force be with you always.